Okay, so now that we did some renders, let's just put together a composition with the elements that we rendered, and I'm going to show you what I rendered and a few elements and how I got those elements out. So I got renders from Arnold. See, I just got a bunch of passes from Arnold. See what I could use there. So this is the final render from Arnold. We spent a bunch of passes as well. This is from the one from Renderman. Some of these look pretty similar. This is the one from Karma. Then I got one from Redshift as well. It's this one from Redshift. This is the beauty. So there you go. You can see I got different renders, and this is my final comp. And I used elements from all of them. Really. I also got a few other elements, which is exactly where we're gonna start with. So this is gonna be more like an overview of how I got to this final image here, and just an overview of how I got here, a few tweaks that I did, and how I used the elements that I got from the render. So you can see this is the final image that I'm doing here. Not a super amazing comp, but I started from this, so I'm gonna show both. This is the Karma raw render. So I got it from here to here, which I like. It's nice. You can see the back wall is a little bit darker. The tequila bottle, it's actually a different one. The molcajete here is a different one. There's a bunch of touches that I had to do to have it a little bit better. So let's just start with the overview here. So I start here with the Karma image here, which again I render a bunch of passes on all of this, guys, so you can just do different tweaks with all of them. I was pretty happy with this. It is a really good image, but I just wanted to enhance a little bit of things. For example, I love how this molcajete was rendered in Renderman. So I rendered this single piece from Renderman. You can see this has holdouts or math from the images, from the objects on the scene. So I didn't have to comp it or cut these elements. So the way I did that, let's go back to the scene here. So this is the final scene. So the way I did that, I had this final render for Renderman, but to get the holdouts of those, I just got create another one here for the tequila. All the way at the bottom here of the network, I just put another render geometry settings, and I got the meshes here. You can see I have this expression here, which basically it's doing by default. This is just like that, and this is nothing. So this is like this. So what I did is I said I'm gonna apply it to all mesh primitives, basically to all geometry, and so that's applying it to all geometry. So just to exclude everything that starts with tequila, I said, well, apply it to everything, but this little hat symbol in the number 6 on your keyboard, tequila, everything that starts with tequila, just don't apply these settings. So that's what the expression is saying here. So I just activated this RI math property, and then I just get this. If I can show you right here. So as you can see, it's just cutting the tequila bottle there, and it has all the other elements are being cut out of this. So I don't just have to drop it in the render, and it will be fine. Everything will be in the right place. Same thing I did for the molcajete here, which was a little bit different. The expression was a little bit different, but you can see that's how it looks, and it has the cuts of the geometry. Of course, it has all the lighting correctly and the reflections and everything. So that's why I did it all the way back here. So it actually does that. And then I just rendered those separately to a separate file. The way I did that expression, it's similar, but I can see it here is the first part that just applies it to all meshes. Then I just did this path to the molcajete because that is actually several pieces. So it's composed of several pieces. Where are you, guy? Here, you can see it has 3 elements. So I'm actually saying every element under this path, ignore this setting too. So that's how I got it to just get this little math for this object here. And I think, did I also, no, that's it. I'm applying this setting to everything but this, and same for the tequila. So I just rendered those out, and that's how I got those images out of there. So if we go back to the comp here, you can see that's, I just got that object because I liked how this object looked. So just to make it a little bit more exaggerated, I added a little bit of glow, which you can see it's really exaggerated here, but it gets tamed down during composition. So you can see this, if I go here and remove this foreground, you can see that is the mantra, or sorry, the karma molcajete, and this is the renderman one. So it's a slight change, but I really like that one, and I just really wanted to use that one. So also for this glow, I just blur this image and composite the image back into it to just give it a little bit of glow. As I said, it just gets less pronounced as we go along, so don't worry about that. It looks horrible right now. Also, I have this element here, which I really love the glass here from RenderMan, so I wanted to use this one. Also, the wood on the cap looks pretty nice, so I have this, but I thought that this looks a little bit too dark, so I added a simple shape to just blur it and move it in place, and I just color corrected this area here. You can see this is the sorry, keep pressing the wrong button. You can see, just if I disable that, I'm just lighting this area with that mask, basically just adding a little bit of color correction there, so that is a little bit more light, because it was a little bit dark for my taste there. So if you see this here, and then I added here to the comp here, I added to these. If I disable this, you can see, oh, again, wrong key, trying to press B. You can see this is a little bit dark, so we have the Solaris tequila logo there. So I wanted to bring that up a little bit more, and you can see that looks pretty cool. And also we are actually blending here. We are actually adding the tequila here, and actually made it a little bit brighter. It looks a little bit too bright here, but when I darken the scene at the end, I wanted to see it, still see the tequila forward, but you can see I can switch back. This is the one that came from Karma, which is nice, but I love the reflections on the one on RenderMan, so I used that one. So that was that. I'm gonna put this back to 1.5, and then I got some passes here from Redshift that I copied to just isolate it, basically. So this is the key light specular pass, and then this is the top light specular pass. So I added the key light specular pass here just to add more light. You can see, actually I turned this off because I later added another specular pass from Arnold here. So I actually ended up turning this on, but you can actually have it if you want to. For me, it was burning too much these peppers. So you can see if I turn that on, this is a little bit too bright for me. So I actually just turn this on. You can have it if you want to, but I just didn't like that in my comp there, because I added another pass. So, and then here I added this top light here. You can see this is the top light, and then I color corrected a little bit to a warmer color, and I added back that in, so it's coming from here, and it's a slight change, but it's actually, you can see it a lot. You can see it a lot here in the peppers, and the table actually gets a lot more warm when I add this. So you can see there's a lot more here added on all the table. It's a really good touch of warmth here on the table. But of course you can, if you want to, you can, for example, you can see if I exaggerate this, you can see where it's affecting. It's affecting a lot of places here over the table specifically. And if I wanted to make this maybe kind of have like a dirt kind of sheen, I could maybe use this pass. Just give it a little bit of touch with that. And then here I got from Arnold, I got the Specular Direct Pass, which actually I used to kind of blend. And I love the detail that Arnold got here for these peppers and these little jalapenos here. All this I really loved there. So I wanted to put that into the image. So the way I'm getting these images is I'm just, this, of course, this image has all the, you can see this guy has all the passes, right? So I'm just creating a dummy color, and then I'm copying to that whatever pass I want. So that way I only have color and alpha in this pass. And I'm just saying to the color, just copy whatever pass I want. In this case is the Specular Direct. And here I just put in this, compositing this back in, and you can see here all the detail I get here. And for example, these jalapenos, I'm getting all those specular, and all this gets kind of like a little bit more texture in these peppers there. But specifically in these jalapenos, I just love how they look with this. I can turn it off. You can see if I'm going to turn it off, I lose a lot of that roughness here. And it wasn't bad, but this just made it a little bit better, I guess. It looks better. And then all this texture here, I also love that breakage of the specular there, or the, if you can see this is a little bit too flat, and then with this just kind of gives it a little bit of texture, which is cool. And it's not too much, because when you go all outside of the image, it just doesn't feel that much, but it gives it a little bit of detail there. Specifically these jalapenos I just loved. Alright, so now let's go here to the next section, which is the shadows that I got from Redshift. This is the Redshift render, and I got the shadows pass from there. And you can see that this is just all the shadows on the scene, and I'm putting them here in this color correct. I'm not merging it or compositing into the image. I'm just using them to color correct the shadows. And you can see I'm just did a few tweaks here, specifically making the shadows a little bit blue and a little bit darker. You can see if I disable this effect, you can see how much that is affecting. It's really slight. I can make this maybe a little bit too much. You can see all the shadows are affected there, but it's just a slight operation in this case. Just a little bit. The shadows are just changing a little bit of color and just giving it a slight tint. See if I switch to this and this, it's just slight tint on the shadows there. So now here this elote or this corn, I wanted to make it a little bit pop a little bit more, because I think it was a little bit too flat on the color. And so I just made a rotor shape for it, and again used the color correction to just bring some color to it. That was just very simple stuff. It is a little bit maybe too saturated. I could have done this a little bit less, but it's just tweaks. So here in this part, I thought that I wanted to make the wall, just trying to use some elements. I wanted to use the depth, the depth channel to color correct the scene a little bit more. So I got it from in this case for Karma, I got depth channel here. Let's just drop an equalize to that for the depth channel. And here in the equalize, you can see I'm not separating the channel. In this case, I just went to the mask and then just selected the depth channel and disabled this guys. So it's affecting this one actually. If we see the depth channel here, you can see we are affecting that one here. You can see that that's the, if I turn down this effect, you can see this, I'm just equalizing it to, so it goes from 0 to 1. And then I'm still just crushing it a little bit more, or just compressing it a little bit more, so it actually goes applies more to the back. So here in this node here, I'm gonna go switch back to the color. You can see I'm just making the back wall mostly bluish and dark. Using this equalizer, if I turn this effect off, I guess you can see it now is applying to the whole scene here. So using the depth channel, I keep the effect mostly on the back. You can see it's starting to affect here, and if I go all the way back, and I left it a little bit, it's kind of affecting a little bit of the bottle and this area here in the table as well. So I still wanted to see a little bit of the effect on the table, so it didn't look like just the back was just changing color. So I wanted to be like a little bit of a natural. And then here just made an overall kind of color correction, kind of crush a little bit of the blacks and change a little bit of the gamma and shadows to just give it a little bit stylized look. Just to finish this up, I just cropped the image a little bit. I think that there was a lot of free space here, specifically on this side and maybe on this side. Just was my decision to just crop it like this, and I think it looks pretty cool. And that's basically it. That's all I did for this image. Of course, you can see the glow that I added to this. It might still be a little bit too much there, but I just wanted to have kind of a little bit of a glowy kind of feel to this guacamole, like you wanted to just grab one of those chips and eat it. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me. I hope you learned a bunch of stuff about Solaris and your renderers with Solaris and how you can make beautiful images with this new context called Solaris. I am really happy to be using this. I think it has a really bright future. I'm looking forward to everything you guys produce with this new technology. All right, thanks again. I will see you later.